Hi, this is Shui with a review of the much anticipated New Balance omnis or omn1s. I don't know how to pronounce this word, one as an I, or is this supposed to be one that's supposed to be pronounced later? It's a cute attempt, but they should have clarified a little bit better. Many people have been hotly anticipating to grab a pair of these, but there's been some imbalance in terms of the supply and demand, especially with Kawhi Leonard winning the Finals MVP and having an amazing season. But that's pretty much it. It's not because this shoes is wonderful. These shoes are wonderful. These kicks are not incredible. It's just that they have been in short supply and they've been releasing a lot of colors. But the first few colors have been sold out and resellers have been jacking up the price a lot. But hey, hold on. The price will go down. There'll be plenty more colors coming up. It's not worth it. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. The cushioning, the fuel cell, the much anticipated fuel cell cushioning, it's not even that much superior to the conventional fresh foam they use in regular, typical New Balance runners. So that's a little bit disappointing. Perhaps what they could have done is did what Curry 7s did, which was to have a combination, a layer of fuel cell and a fresh foam. That would have been nice. The heel, it's got good amount of compression and good amount of shock absorption and impact protection. Very similar to the Bounce models that we've had in the past, Adidas Bounce models of the early days, like the Dame Lillard 3. It's very similar to the Lillards, except the forefoot has a little bit less cushioning compared to the Lillard 3s. The heel has a little bit more compression and softness compared to the Lillard 3s, but basically it feels very similar to it. So nothing spectacular. Fuel cell, they need to work a little bit harder to wow users or basketball players or sneakerheads in the future. And what's with this rubber band? It's completely useless. Absolutely just for show. They try to have a bit of a claw motif here and there, like this lace loop. It's just leather. It's just leather folded to look like some other type of material, but it's just leather. The lace loop is supposed to represent, the Kawhi Leonard's signature or icon or symbol, the claw. And even in the inside, they have the anti-inversion plate, or something you could call a speed plate or a sprint frame. It looks like a little bird claw there. It's good that they have it right on top of the outsole and not positioned right below your foot before the midsole, which screw things up and which really hinders your ability to really feel the midsole cushioning, which is what Adidas has been doing repeatedly as of late. So yeah, kudos to you, New Balance, for getting this correct. It's not exactly lightweight for a size 9. It weighs around 440 grams. That's pretty similar to the Jordan, lighter than the Jordan 30s, lighter than the Jordan 32s, but pretty much close to that. So it's not exactly the lightest shoe out there. The outsole, the pattern, it looks like flattened rice bits stuck all over. It's not exactly herringbone. The direction, as you can tell, it's more geared towards providing you with lateral traction. So when it comes to horizontal, straightforward movements from heel to toe, you will be sliding a little bit when you're moving in this direction because of this ridiculous design. And also, as you can tell, the grooves are, the pattern is not a sharp pattern with deep grooves, but rather flat patterns with a narrow groove. So it's going to just eat up dust, and it's not going to be great in terms of traction. And this middle part, which is this is zero traction, but it's taking up a whole lot of space right in the middle of the foot. They actually need to have a little bit more traction here, or at least have some distance from the floor. They could have this decoupled and elevated just to show the New Balance logo inside, but not acting as a part of the traction. But this is a killer part. What were you guys thinking, New Balance? Brand recognition is great, but don't freaking do this again, please. This just ruined it. Already a poor traction, making it worse with this flat logo. That looks like a Korean Postal Service logo, if you could take a closer look at it. But anyway, poor traction, not incredible. Of course, in clean court you will be fine. The midsole cushioning, the fuel cell, as I mentioned earlier, this is not the entire cushioning. Of course, this is for fusing the midsole to the upper material. It's about this thick, probably about this thick, very thin, and once you remove the Ortholite insole, you can barely feel anything on the forefoot. So yeah, again, if you like the Dame Lillard 3s, this is very similar to it. Get the Lillard 3s again if you wanna. If you feel this is a can't miss monumental model, first signature for Kawhi, or the first return vehicle for New Balance, then go get it. But I don't think it's worth it. And the fit is horrific. It fits strangely wide, but at the same time still pinches into your pinky toe, and the toe box is extremely high. So keep that in mind. Average, if you have really narrow feet, you're gonna have to go down at least a whole size. If you're somewhat average, you might want to try going down half a size, but then you might feel a little bit of a pinching here. So this extremely high toe box area, this interstellar black hole void you feel on top, it's just ridiculous. Unless you put some extra holes here and add some more layers, lace loops to tighten things up, you're not going to be using this as a performer. The good part is that the tongue is very much just a flimsy knit material. Good part is it's good for ventilation. The bad part is if you lace them tight, you might actually feel some pressure on the top of your foot there. So that's good and bad. Overall, it's a very flimsy and soft ride in terms of putting your feet in. There's nothing that pinches into you, nothing that chafes into your any parts of your ankle or your heel, so that's good. It looks like a mid, but it feels more like a low, something between a mid and a low. So if you want some really solid high top basketball shoes that locks down your ankles, this is not for you. What else is there? Can't really say great things. I'm a little disappointed, but still, compared to Puma's valiant attempt to return to the basketball scene, the recent Puma basketball models were very disappointing. Compared to that, this is a more successful return to the basketball realm, return to the race to win over players and fans in the NBA. This is a good attempt by New Balance, but considering the price and how hard it is to get them, and how it is not exactly amazing, it's just, come on, it's a throwback to the Lillard 3s. And this is already, how many years ago was that? Now we're having the Lillard 6, so this is about 3 years ago, and this wasn't even considered one of the greatest performers out there. So New Balance, do something about your fuel cell cushioning, combine it with the soft, fresh foam or something. Work on your fit, work on getting the fit right. Maybe Kawhi has huge feet that needs a lot of space here, but most ordinary people don't. Yeah, can't really say great things about this shoe. It looks nice. If you're a super fan of Kawhi Leonard, a fan of New Balance making a comeback, yeah, go get them. But I would recommend waiting until the price drops, because the colors, the initial 4 colorways, because there were so many fans right after the finals, they were high on Kawhi's MVP run. That's why they did not have enough supply to meet the demand. But now, trust me, the price will go down, more crazy colorways will come out, and they will be a lot more affordable soon.